Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming back after the coffee break. I hope you enjoyed the coffee break and had the chance to have a lot of fruitful discussions, because this is what it's all about, by the way. It's really bringing people together in a NOC event, so where you can exchange your experience and have your chats about certain projects you're working on or you want to work on. Before we start this session, there's one message from the MENOG. We have the vouchers for the dinner today. They are waiting for you at the registration. So everybody who plans to go for dinner today, please make sure that you go to the registration, maybe during the lunch break or the next coffee break, and get your vouchers for the dinner today in the evening. So, welcome to this session. This session is about the closer look on the internet ecosystem, and I want to invite on stage Salman Alomiri from SaudiNIC for his presentation.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome everyone. I would like to take the chance actually to welcome you here in MENOG and in KSA, and I'm sure that it's not going to be the last time that we are going to meet. I'm sure there is a lot of collaboration and intersection between our paths in the future. So also I would like actually to extend my gratitude to the sponsor and the host of this event. Thank you very much, and please allow me to take you through SAIX journey. I'm going to summarize the journey that we have taken in SAIX to help in reshaping and complementing the ecosystem in Saudi Arabia. Actually, I'm going to take into three main sections. The first section, I'm going to give you an introduction about the ecosystem and introduction about SAIX itself and what is SAIX. The second section about the collaboration that SAIX has built with local or international players in the market. Then we will come up with the main outcomes or results that has been actually achieved by this collaboration and by through this journey. Okay, so what is meant by digital ecosystem? The digital ecosystem is actually segmented into 3+1, if you can say that, because I'm going to separate the IXP itself. So the first layer is the international connectivity, which is enabling the traffic between counties and between international players through the submarine cables, and which is connected through landing stations. And there is the data center, where the real content and services are hosted or collocated. And there is finally where the eyeballs or the customers are there, whether they are individuals or businesses. And then we can see that highlighted is the peering platforms or the IXP services, which is enabling all those players to interact and exchange traffic between their products. So the absence actually of a neutral IXP in this picture or this equation is having an impact on the resiliency, since there is a digital transformation and moving into more digitized countries. There is actually a need for more content or services providers, which is having direct interconnectivity or direct interaction to each other. So without a mature or right IXP, there's going to be a challenge in the resiliency for this type of connectivity. And to resolve this issue, there is going to be a dependency on high cost connectivity through international links, which is impacting the economics of the companies. This is going to reflect on the attractiveness of the environment or the market, since the prices are high. And after that, we are going to experience it as end user, which we are going to see this as the network is following a suboptimal paths to reach the content. Okay, by that actually we have seen this scene from MCIT perspective and we came up with this initiative, let's say our vision, to build a neutral and non-profit platform that's enabling all the internet service providers, content service providers, and to peer and exchange the traffic, which is going to help them to reduce the cost of connectivity, to enhance the performance of their services to their end users, and enable them to expand their investments in the market. So with defining the goals of localizing internet traffic, improving the quality of the networks or infrastructure in Saudi Arabia, and enabling Saudi to become a digital hub, we came up actually with this initiative as a collaboration between public and private sectors. So the initiative stakeholders were MCIT, the Ministry, and CAXT, King Abdulaziz City for Science and Technology, and also CST, the regulator of digital market in Saudi Arabia, and also with the participation of STC, Zain, Mobile, and Salam, and Go as a DSP or operators for internet in Saudi Arabia. We have defined actually the principles of this initiative to enable the market and achieve the goals that we have set in the beginning. So we defined the first principle is the neutrality, so providing the peering services independently of any other services. Also the fairness, which is maintaining a level playing field for all the operators and content or services providers, to maintaining operated within highest quality level. And to achieve actually that, there is some tools has been developed to give more visibility on the performance of internet. Maybe I'm giving an example of Looking Glass or the automated report that's been sent to stakeholders of SAIX. And also we have adopted some collaboration models, starting by activating the role of members that we have clarified previously, or by active participation of SAIX in the international events, and also having a lot of awareness sessions with related entities. Okay, so the collaboration models actually that we are aiming to achieve SAIX goals are set within governance level and also on the technical level. So from governance, as maybe I've mentioned, it started as an initiative by MCIT, regulated by CST, hosted and operated by CAXT, and as a technical partner or technical connectivity provider are the operators. Then we moved just to enhance the integration and the participation of the related entities. So there has been multiple committees and councils launched to enable achieving these goals. So the first was the IX management team, which is the team that's monitoring the daily work of SAIX, that's operating and providing the required reports and ensuring that SAIX is meeting the compliance that it has to meet. Also interacting with potential or active member of SAIX for localizing their services and enhancing maybe their experience within Saudi Arabia. There is the Members Council, which is revising the strategy annually and developing or supporting the expansion and requirements plans with the support of the operators, and also voting for any agreements or technical changes that's going to happen to SAIX. And also we have the steering committee, which is somehow the governmental focus or the governmental steering over SAIX, which is approving the strategy and plans that has been submitted, also providing any required policies or governance for SAIX. From technical perspective, actually, since there is already a lot of investments that has been put in on the field as a connectivity or data center, so we have two options actually to be connected to SAIX. The one is the normal one that I think everyone is familiar with, which is being co-located within the same data center that SAIX is available, whether in Riyadh or Jeddah. The other one is collaborating with any of the connectivity providers just to bring an off-net connection to SAIX and be co-located somewhere else in Saudi Arabia. And hopefully actually these two models has been adopted by multiple members of SAIX. Also, since some entities actually are looking to emphasize on the neutrality of their infrastructure, so we launched a program that's called CXF program, Certified Exchange Facility. So with some technical requirements for the data center regarding the latency and the capacity that's going to be provided, we're going to expand actually SAIX footprint to the data center of connectivity provider, just emphasizing on their neutrality once they are agreed to actually apply the neutrality requirements that SAIX is adopting. And both actually we are utilizing the current investments, and it is helping in promoting actually the neutrality among data center. So after actually taking maybe these actions or these steps that we have taken, I'm going to show some of the enhancements that's happened to the local market. So first, talking about the traffic, which is reflecting the adoption of digital services and to some extent actually the maturity of the market. So we started with 28 gig in 2019 and moved to 160 gig in 2022, which is more than 70% increase annually. Also, a number of members, which is enabling the development of the ecosystem, the sustainability of the services. We started with 6 members actually in 2019, which is the local operators, and moved to 19 members in 2022. Then actually, about the ASNs and the organization that is utilizing SAIX services, it was 124 ASN in 2019, moved to 172 in 2022. And also the capacity has actually increased more than 10 times from 2019 up to 2022. So we see actually this development is showing the understanding and the adoption of the local market to SAIX, and also to enhance maybe the quality and the support or participate in building more secured internet environment. SAIX become actually a participant of MENOG by promoting 5 items, which is prevent, promote, and protect coordination of multiple sessions with the operators, and providing tools to help in monitoring the traffic. So this actually led us to where are we now as I'm speaking right now. So we reached out more than 350 gig per second as a traffic exchange through SAIX. The capacity connected is more than actually 2 terabits per second, but the size has been developed 3 days ago, but yesterday has been expanded. There is more than 25,000 prefixes exchanged through SAIX, and we have a visibility on 99% of the Saudi addresses actually, with 100% uptime during the more than 5 years, actually, more than 4 years, sorry, since SAIX has been launched. And currently with 23 members connected to SAIX, we are seeing actually the market is getting more mature. So summarizing the journey of SAIX, maybe we can see it in based on the years. So SAIX has started in 2018 with a collaboration with the local market. We need actually to give the market the trust and secure their roles actually in keeping SAIX actually complementing their services, not actually competing it or conflicting with the products that they are providing. So we have launched multiple of committees. It has been launched in 2018 actually, by November of 2018. In 2019 all the committees started. The first public peering actually has happened in 2019 with multiple of operators. By 2020 and 2021 there is maybe the COVID-19 pandemic, so unfortunately we haven't a lot of changes. However, there was a surge or a jump in the size of the national traffic since people has moved to the digital services, which was more than 30%, and hopefully with the high capacity that's connected to SAIX, we accommodated this surge. In 2022, we're back to move again, and we launched the second site of SAIX in Eastern region actually, in Western region, in a GDH data center. And this year actually we have new 4 members, 2 of them is cloud providers, and we are reaching a new peak of traffic. Maybe the key messages are the key results that we came up with, the items that we have focused on enhancing with this actually initiative. We have developed a lot of joint efforts and collaborative work with a lot of local operators, and it has actually represented by the numbers that we are seeing. For resiliency, for example, we have localized 6 root servers in 8 actually nodes inside Saudi Arabia. There is increase in the national capacity by 10 times actually. Maybe you can see that the old reports of SAIX was tens of gigs. Right now everyone is connected with hundreds of gigs actually. They're also becoming a participant in manners and working with international entities to enhance the internet ecosystem. There is also savings around 30 million annually actually on the internet traffic, $30 million, sorry, on the internet traffic compared to the traffic that is served through SAIX. In terms of attractiveness, actually, we are seeing that maybe as Mr. Bassam has mentioned earlier in the data center plans or achievements, there is more than 100 megawatts, sorry, of data center capacity has been launched in the last 2 years, and more than 20 CDNs has been connected, connected to SAIX or even localized through other entities in Saudi Arabia. And there is almost 80% enhancement to the latency for the service that has been localized in SAIX. By that, actually, I conclude my speech, and thank you. I'm looking for you to follow us and share with us your comments, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Salman. Great presentation, great development for Saudi Arabia. We want to welcome now Suhayb on stage from SaudiNIC, who will tell us about the transformation of SaudiNIC on a journey from single registrar to the Registry-Registrar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Suhayb Alghutaymil. I work for Communication and Space and Technology Commission. I want to talk to you about our journey as SaudiNIC, transforming from single registration model to registry-registrar. Hopefully you will benefit from this presentation if you, in the future, your organization want to delegate others for making their services. So first I want to show you what is SaudiNIC, what is what we are managing.
So we are switching the laptop because obviously we have a little bit of a technical issue here. No worries, we have the presentation also on another laptop. I just thought I'd take the chance and have a few words about MENOG, because there are not so often the times when we don't have presentations. So I really appreciate that we have MENOG in Saudi. So then we don't have an echo. So really great that we have MENOG finally in Saudi again. It's a great location. We all think that there is a great future ahead for Saudi Arabia in terms of the internet. I mean, we see a lot of developments in the last couple of years. So we will start with that. Okay. So we are really happy to be here again, and we are happy having so many people from the local community here. And we also hope that when we have the next the next MENOG somewhere else in the region, that a lot of you also traveling there, because this is what it's all about, that we meet once a year on some location to have a great interaction. So we are now switching a little bit in the program to fix our technical issue. And therefore I want to ask Marco Schmidt on stage to talk about the RIPE NCC membership. Thank you.
So good morning, everybody. We have our moment of shine a couple of minutes earlier than planned, but that's even better. So my name is Marco Schmidt. I'm working as the manager of registration services at the RIPE NCC, and I'm here together with my colleague Jeremy Walder, who is the manager of member services also at the RIPE NCC. And we want to tell you a little bit about the advantages and the values that the membership at the RIPE NCC has. In the morning, Hisham gave a little RIPE NCC update, and he explained that we are a membership organization. And we actually want to show you what it is about. And we also want to dive a bit deeper into the core activity that we are doing, which is being an internet number registry. First off, even if in the morning it also was mentioned by His Excellency, IPv6 is the future, we cannot start this presentation without talking about IPv4. Because we receive actually in Jeremy's department and also in mine quite often questions, people saying, oh, I need IPv4, where can I get IPv4, do I still have IPv4? And I can understand why that is, because if you look at the news over the last 10 plus years, there were a couple of moments that were, say, run out. We are out of IPv4. The first time you see here, it's highlighted already in 2011, it was said, oh, we are out of IPv4. Which was not true, it seems, because a year later, then we, even the RIPE&C, published a statement, oh, yeah, now we are starting to issue the last blocks. It seems those blocks lasted for quite a while, because in 2019, there was another message about a run out that we were out of new IPv4 addresses. And then, in 2020, this time we were really run out of IPv4, at least that's what this news says. So the question is now, does the RIPE&C has IPv4 still? And yes, we have. So that's the good news. But, and there's always a but, it is only for new members with an LAR account, so a local internet registry account. They can get IPv4 from the RIPE&C if they have never got IPv4 address from us before. It's only the smallest routable size, the /24, so 256 IPs, and you have to wait because the demand has exceeded what we can supply, and there's a waiting list. And I want to give you on the next slide a bit more details how this waiting list has developed over the last 2 years when it basically started to become really active. You see here the number of LARs that have joined the waiting list, and you see it grow up quite a lot steeply at the beginning. There were some drops when we handed out some address space, and in the, let's say the last 6 months, it seems to be like steady, but this doesn't mean that there's nobody joining anymore, that waiting list. Rather, we continuously handing out address space, so you see this green graph. That kind of balances what we are of the members that are joining. Still, the demand is higher. So until now, within the last 2 years, we have handed out more than 1,600 of those /24 address blocks. Still, as I mentioned, people still ask more than what we can supply. So you see this orange graph is the waiting time. So currently the LAR that is first in line waited there already since about 15 months. Then I thought it would be a good idea to have a look actually how much of this address space that we handed out went to the MENOG region. And it's actually a rather small amount. You see only 29 /24s went to this region. Mostly to the United Arab Emirates and to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And looking then at the people that are on the waiting list, it's looking a little bit better, I would say. Now 4%, so we have around 44 members or LARs from this region on the waiting list. Again, mostly from the Arabic Emirates, and also Iraq actually is quite active now, but we still think there is maybe a lack of awareness that a membership at the RIPE&C might bring you resources, because when looking at the population, the MENOG region, I make some estimation, counts for around 18 to 20% of the population of all our RIPE service region, and it's only just a small percentage is taking advantage of that, which I think also is quite nicely illustrated here. That's the membership development in the different countries that we have in the MENOG region. And we see over the last 3 years, there is some growth in Saudi Arabia, which is probably related to these activities that were outlined this morning by His Excellency. Iraq is quite active, and also United Arab Emirates. But in the other countries, we see a rather flat line of new members joining. And that is maybe because people are not aware that they can actually get quite some resources still from us, which is not just this small block of IPv4, but also IPv6, and that even is minimum a /29, which is trillions of IPv6 addresses, and it will help to achieve those goals that were outlined this morning to expand the IPv6 coverage. And of course, we also provide other internet number resources, such as AS numbers and also smaller IPv6 assignments. Something that is also important to know that there are large address blocks out there on the market that can be transferred, but if these address blocks are allocations, you have to be a member in order to receive them. And also only members can ask the RIPE&C to do an update, to request a transfer of own address space to other organizations, whether from their own account or from their sponsored end users. So just looking at the Internet Number Resource site, I think there are already quite some good incentives to, if you're not already a member, to consider a membership. And my colleague Jeremy will now tell you a bit more what it is to become a member, and also important news, if you're already a member, what you have to watch out.
Thank you so much, Marco. I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about becoming and being a member of the RIPE&CC, and to take you through the process of how it works. So firstly, you may wonder how many members we actually have. Well, I'm going to show you. We currently have 20,255 members for the RIPE&CC in our region, and those members themselves have 22,843 LIRs. LIR actually stands for Local Internet Registry, and we as the RIPE&CC are the Regional Internet Registry. So all the local internet registries are part of the RIR as well. So what actually is the difference between membership and an LIR? Well, if we look here, you can't actually be an LIR without being a member. However, once you become a member, an LIR account will be opened for you automatically. Also, as a member, you can open multiple LIR accounts. So once you've completed the application process and you have an LIR, you can then apply for another one after another. Also, each LIR account can request their own resources. So I'm just going to visualize how it is to become a member. If you log into our website, www.ripe.net, this is the screen you see, and there you see circled Become a Member. If you click on that, it takes you to another screen with a bar on it where it says Join the RIPE&CC in big letters. You click on that, and then you can actually use your account if you already have an account with us, or otherwise you can create an account quite easily. Once you've done that, you get to the application page. So what do we need for the application? We need quite some information from you. So if you are applying as a legal entity, we need the legal name, address of your organization, and the legal form of company, so what kind of company it is. We also need a copy of your company registration papers, and that needs to be valid within the last 3 months. If you apply as a natural person, we need your full legal name as per your identification document. We need your registered address, and we need a digital copy of your passport or the valid ID document that you use. And we verify this using a third party called Identify. And once the verification has been made, the document copy is deleted, so we don't keep that. It's not something we save. After that, we also need your financial information. So we need a billing address, especially if that's different from the legal address. That's very important. And we need the email address to receive invoices. And that is very important that that's correct, because if you don't receive the invoices, you can't pay, and we actually can't activate the membership. So it's important that that's correct from the beginning. On top of that, we need names and email addresses of the people in your organization who are responsible for administrative and technical questions. We always suggest to have at least 2 people and 2 separate email addresses for that. So if we can't reach one person, we can try with somebody else. We need an email address as well where users can contact you in case of any kind of network abuse. And we also need a valid phone number. If we need to get hold of you urgently and we can't reach you via email, we will call you. Once we have all this information, we start our due diligence process. We go through our blacklist to make sure that nothing is mentioned there. We do an entity check. So for a company, we check the company registration, the online registry of that country, and check the details of the company there. And as I already mentioned, if it's for a natural person, we will do the ID check using the third party. We'll check the validity of the updated company registration papers. We will also do a sanction check, and I think Hisham touched on that earlier, how the sanctions work a little bit, to make sure the company itself is not sanctioned, or none of the directors are sanctioned, or if so, how we will deal with that in that situation. We'll check the contact details that have been provided, and we will phone the phone number we have to make sure we actually can reach somebody on it. So it's important that we have a phone number where we actually can get hold of somebody if we need to. Finally, we will do a verification check on the company signatory to ensure we have the names of the directors and the people who are able to sign legally for the company. When we have that information and everything is finalized, we create a standard service agreement which we will sign on our side, and we then send it to you to be signed by the verified signatory. You also receive an invoice with a one-off sign-up fee and a yearly service fee. And the yearly service fee in the first year is prorated quarterly depending on when you apply. Once the invoice is paid and we've received the signed standard service agreement, we will activate the account. You receive information from us that the account is activated, and also the information how you can apply for your resources, IPv4, IPv6, AS numbers, and so on. Once you actually are a member, it's very important for us to keep your information up to date. So if any of these things change, we need to know. If the company legal name or address is changed, if the VAT status of the company would change, any contact details that change, so people who leave or somebody who joins who should be an admin contact, emails, phone numbers, postal addresses as well. Also the billing address details. Like I mentioned before, we need a valid email address to be able to send our invoices to, because if you don't receive the invoices, you can't pay them, and that can in the end actually result in closure of an account if the invoice remains unpaid for a longer period. As well as that, any kind of company acquisitions or mergers that may occur, transfers of resources to another organization, or the case of bankruptcy, we also need to be notified immediately. In case we need to close a member, there are a few criteria that may cause us to do that. The first one is if we cannot contact a member for a significant amount of time. And there again, I can only stress again how important it is that we keep contact information updated. So we can reach people always in these situations. Secondly, if a member has violated any right community policies or the terms of their standard service agreement. And finally, like I already mentioned, if the member hasn't paid their fees. We go quite a long way to try and get hold of people, or get hold of companies if we cannot, do not receive the payment of the invoice. But there comes a point if we really cannot get any kind of contact, the member can be closed. If a member is closed, we take back the resources and the address space held by the member, and we put this in a quarantine for at least 6 months. And I'm going to hand back to Marco now.
Thank you, Jeremy. So now that you know what to watch out when you apply for membership, or if you also already are a member, what to take care, I want to mention some additional benefits that comes with the membership, and that might be useful for future and existing members. First off, our tool, the RPKI, so the Resource Public Key Infrastructure, which is basically members can create their own ROA, so their root origin authorization, which is a digital certificate that lists their resources and basically announce which AS is allowed to announce those resources. And that is a verifiable proof by anybody else in the internet that can, if they receive a routing announcement, to see if the announcer is actually authorized to do so. And it protects in that way your resources, and of course it makes the whole internet more secure. By the way, you mentioned, maybe you remember this morning Hisham mentioned at the end of this meeting day there will be a ROA signing party, so you might be interested to join that one and maybe even sign your own ROAs. Something that is also quite interesting to know, or might be interesting to know to you, is with your membership, you can help to shape the RIPE NCC, because you are electing the board members who are overseeing our activities. You approve the charging scheme, also the financial report, and also any changes to our articles of associations. And members can start an appeal process in case they are not happy with something that the RIPE NCC did or another member did. And I got already the sign that we have to wrap it up, but I also want to point out some other benefits that are more in the educational part. You can join training courses for free, on-site and online, and a couple of you probably attended in the last few days training courses that were given by my colleagues Gerardo and Judd in the last few days. You also can get vouchers for our certification program, that if you finish some certification on IPv6 and writing security, for example. You get also tickets for the RIPE meetings if you're a new member, and the next one will be in Rome, by the way, quite soon. And you also get credits for our Atlas measurement, which is a network of probes around the world that help you troubleshoot and see how your network is seen in the rest of the world. That was our overview in a nutshell. If you have any more questions, you can find us for the rest of this meeting in the hallway. Also, we have a service desk that is around the corner beside the registration desk, so we are there for any questions you might have. And of course, you always can send us an email to ncc@ripe.net. This will create a ticket and you will get an answer within 1 business day. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Jeremy and Marco, for the presentation. So if you're not a RIPE member yet, I think you have to become now. So in Austria we say you always meet twice, so that's why I want to ask Suhayb on stage, please, and for his presentation about SaudiNIC.
Hello again. So I want to present to you our journey as SaudiNIC, from transforming from direct domain registration to registry-registrar model. So you could benefit from this presentation, how you make move your business model, how to communicate this business, the whole business model to your clients. Hopefully you will benefit from it and benefit from our experience. To know first about Saudi domain is under Communication and Space and Technology Commission, which is governmental and regulation body in Saudi Arabia. Under this commission we have Saudi Network Information Center, SaudiNIC. SaudiNIC manages .sa CCTLD and .Saudiya Arabic IDN. Saudi Network Information Center is responsible for managing .sa CCTLD from 1995. I want to show you the key milestones in our history. We got the delegation of the .sa TLD from 1995, and we released our first regulation rules. In 2006, under Internet Restructure project, before SaudiNIC was working under King Abdulaziz Science and Technology, and moved at the time to Communication and Technology Commission, our previous name. After that, in 2010, we enabled registration for our IDN TLD to Saudiya. Also, we updated our registration regulation at that time. In 2011, we enabled the flat registration for SATLD, and in 2017 we enabled DNSSEC for for our TLDs. We were the first among Middle East at that time. In 2020, we started moving to registry-registrar model, which is to delegate the domain registration to the private sector or other government sector. We launched our accredited registrars in 2021. So no longer we accept registration through our portal, or registration are through registrars. Why we moved to registry-registrar model? First, moving to this model will stimulate innovation and creativity from other than us. Also, to adopt this as international best practice among domain registries. And this also empower national talent and national expertise. This move also will promote our Arabic domains, and this is a new market in our region. So introducing registry-registrar model will introduce new companies to the market. Also, this will provide additional domain services. Before we just providing domain name registration, now registrants can register a domain name with extra service. Before we moved to registry-registrar model, we were accepting domain name registration through our website with no fees, for free. We have over 25 processes for managing customer domain name. All our systems are developed in-house using innovative technologies and open source products. Also to assure precise and fast registration. At that time, our system was integrating with the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of Interior to make the registration fast and accurate and protect our customers. So to prepare for transition from direct registration to registry-registrar model, first we reviewed the best practices for providing registry services, and we developed a transitional plan that includes how we communicate this big transition to our customer. Also, we updated our regulation framework. We published a detailed technical manual how to connect to a registry service to provide domain registration. Also, we made first of the kind registry system that support IDN domain names. To accept new registrars, registrars must go through accreditation process. The registrar first will submit a detailed proposal, technical, and how they support our customers through our system. And our staff will review the proposal and ensure they are eligible for registration as a registrar. Then we do initial test called the technical readiness test to test the readiness of the registrar to connect through our testing environment. Then we give the new registrar a period for developing their registration system, and if the system pass our technical tests and integrate successfully with our environment, the registrar will take the accreditation after passing also the cybersecurity test, then pay the initial fee for registration. To move from registrar, before we were registering domains for free. So this big change for our for our users. So we must notify them about this change in advance. So we started this 2 years ago. So in Q1 2020, we updated our policies and rules and included that domain registration will come with a fee. It's not free anymore. So and we will end the registration at 2021. In 2021 first quarter, we announced our accredited registrars and provided for our registrants grace period to move and transfer their domains to registrars. And we explain for each registrar the transfer procedure and prepare our system and for accepting registrars and highlight timeline for the transfer. And also in 2021 we ended the direct registration service. After 2 quarters, in quarter 3, also we encourage our users to transfer their domain to registrars, and we notify them regularly about this transfer, and we announce last date for modifying domain names. In 2022, we also continue to remind our registrants to move their domain names and publish a comprehensive transfer guide to assist users through transfer process. Now, this is our current hierarchy for domain registration. Now the private sector or regular users, if they want to register a domain names, they go through our accredited registrars. So we have these the logos for our registrars, and they submit through our registry system their domain registration. For government, they have Digital Government Authority. They manage the registration for government domain names. Here is some statistics about our transfer. So we have 14% of increase in newly registered domain after this transition. And we have over 95% renewal rate and 11% growth in overall growth for our domains. And to make the registrars motivated, we always publish the market share for registrars. So we publish them regularly. We have here our newest registrars is T2. They have 0% because they start recently, so they didn't acquire many domains yet. Future developments for SaudiNIC. In the next steps for us, first we will launch our premium domain services and after domain market. So if you buy a domain, you could sell it in this market and make the price of Saudi domain more variable. Also, we plan to improve Saudi domain names infrastructure and to make the Saudi domain names more resilient and more secure and more available. Hopefully you benefit from this presentation, and I welcome any question if anyone want to ask. Some details I missed, or I explained something I didn't explain very well.
Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. This is Saif from .iq CCTLD for Iraq. I have two questions here. First question related to the domains still under your management. And as you said, you now go into the registrar model. What about this domain who don't transfer to your registrar? And the second question is for the future development. There is a policy for the premium domains, how you are considered the domain is a premium. Are you discussing that? Also, I want to thank you a lot for this presentation.
Thank you. Regarding the first question about registrants who didn't transfer their domain names, as I said before, we notified, we give a longer grace period for them to let them transfer to their registrants. We made also tests for how many registrants, we started deleting the domains are not used first. So we have many, before we register domains for free. So we made a scan over these domains and to investigate if these domains are working or not. So we started first with inactive domain names to delete. And we got now a very short list of domain names. Most of our domain names are either transferred or deleted. So we delete them by batches regularly. First we start with inactive domains, then we go to the domains they didn't transfer. And regarding our premium domains question, so we plan to launch them soon. It's under approval now inside. So hopefully we publish this after it's approved.
There was another question.
Assalamu alaikum. Nada Al-Wadi, I'm a Bahraini researcher. I have a question very briefly. Can you talk about the Arabic domains? Any briefly information about the Arabic domains that you have?
Okay. In case somebody not aware, domain names only support in the past only ASCII codes, English letters or Latin letters. So later the ICANN provided Arabic or non-Arabic domain names. This use have its own technical challenges, such as, for example, in the English domain names, there is a normalization part in the DNS that normalizes the capital and lowercase letters. So we have this same, but the DNS infrastructure doesn't support Arabic. Arabic have something called tashkil, or similar letter in another Arabic script like Urdu. So domain names doesn't, or DNS doesn't provide support for this. So in our experience, we made a technical solution to provide this normalization part for Arabic domains. So we accept any Arabic word, and we prevent the duplication of this word using another Arabic script, using a special algorithm developed by CST called the master key algorithm. It's a published research paper to normalize Arabic domain names. I'm not sure if I answered your question. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Suhayb, for your presentation. So we come to the last part of this session in the morning. We come to the peering personals. Peering personals, for those who don't know this format, is usually for you as an audience, you as a participant of the MENOG meeting, to present your own network, to present yourself to the community, to do more peering and to enable peering. So please, we have currently a few peering personals already uploaded. Please use the MENOG website to upload your peering personal. You can see now in this session how the format would work, how this looks like. Don't be shy. So I see Salam in the audience. We would love to have a peering personal from Salam, for instance. I see Telecom Italia Sparkle would be nice to have a peering personal from you. We haven't one from Links yet. We should also get a one from Links. So please don't be shy. Edgio in the back there, I don't have a peering personal from you. So please upload your peering personals. We have 3 more sessions for the peering personals where you can present your network to the audience. And this is a very important part for this community. So we have 2 in this session. I want to ask Chad for his from RIPE.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to make this very short because I have a lightning talk at the end of tomorrow regarding this. We operate ASN 12654 for the RIST project at the RIPE NCC. So RIST stands for the Routing Information Service. Basically, it's a collection of routers a little bit across the world and the major IXPs. And we'd like to peer with you. It is used for different tools for network measurement, statistics, and analysis. If you have any questions regarding this, please attend the lightning talk. For contact information, you can send emails to risk-peering@ripe.net, and we do have a selective peering policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chad. Next peering person, surprisingly, is from DKIX. So DKIX, we're running internet exchanges all over the globe. We have now 49 internet exchanges with more than 3,000 networks connected all over the globe. If you go to next slide. Here in the Middle East, we started 11 years ago in the UAE. We have more than 100 networks connected now in the UAE exchange, which is running in Dubai, in the IMPZ, in International Media Production Zone. But obviously, the Middle East is a big region, so one exchange is not enough for this region. So we also started a couple of years ago in Istanbul, which is the only exchange operating on 2 continents. So we are in data centers on the European side of Istanbul and in data centers on the Asian side in Istanbul. So a real distributed exchange with many data centers. And just recently, new baby started with collaboration with Aqaba-X. Already has members on it, already has traffic. We have 26 gigabit of traffic peak already in Aqaba. It is, I would say, a little bit the Marseille of Middle East, maybe, as a good gate to the Levant region. And we now starting in Iraq as well with the Iraq-IX. And big announcement today, we also will operate, we're coming to Saudi Arabia. We are in the process of getting the first IXP license of Saudi Arabia, and we are very happy that we're in this process and very keen to start next year with operations in Saudi Arabia as well. Thank you. So basically we can start, or we can close the session for the mornings. So we inviting you for the lunch as MENOG at the Teatro, which is on the 1st floor. Please don't forget to get your vouchers for the evening dinner at the registration desk, and welcome you back at what was it? 2 at 2 p.m. For the afternoon sessions. Thank you. Sorry? We are on, we have to go 1 floor up, by the way, to the Teatro restaurant. Okay, thank you, and have a great lunch.